All right, welcome to the hoop house. I'm not sure why. Can I go this way? Orientation. Okay, maybe it wants me to go this way. Okay, we are giving you an update of what is growing in the hoop. It is so cold outside, but it's nice and warm in here. It's probably about 65, 70 degrees. Plants are happy and growing. On this side, we've kind of let things, after we got them in the ground, grow. And on this side over here, I have weeded like a crazy woman and put down kind of wood chips in between the rows of things. So with that being said, I'm going to kind of start you on the side that we've kind of let go crazy, which is doing great. So I think there's, I think either way that you go is okay, as long as you're, the things that you're growing doesn't have things that are taking all the nutrients out. So these little guys were sowed by seed down here. You see these are little red beets. And once they get to about this big, I'm going to make sure that they are, if they need thinning, then I'll thin them. So there's 2 beets in this little guy down here. I know it's hard to see, but they're too close together. So I just kind of pluck them right at the soil level. And that way the other beet can have the nutrients that it needs. I know it's hard to see these, but these are cute little Swiss chards, and they are growing amazing. And I'm actually going to thin these out today as well. So we've got beets, Swiss chard, beets, Swiss chard. And once I do the thinning, this is about how big, thanks buddy. This is about how big that I'll let them get before I thin them out. And that just allows them to grow at a faster rate. And Swiss chard is so great because it, once it's there, you can just pick it and it will keep coming. So you're not going to pick the whole plant out. You're going to pick, no, it's not raining anymore. Pick it and from the outside and then come in. These are beets that my mom and I planted. Look how strong these are. So you could, at this point, when the beets are this big, obviously we'll let them grow into the ground, but you could take the outside of leaves, some of the outside leaves, and you could put them in a salad, use the beet greens, even with the beets still in the ground there. I wouldn't take all of them, but you could probably take a couple stems from each. And then we've got beets all the way down to where June is down there. So, pardon my runny nose. We got some allergies going on here. These broccolis are doing okay. I mean, it's just, they've grown so big, so fast. The tricky part about broccoli is if it's not cold enough, it will not head. So, and actually, excuse me, as I get closer in here, these are 2 broccolis. So I may even want to take one out, but at this point, I think I'll leave them and see how they do. So inside of each of these broccoli areas, I did plant onions. So onions are within each of those spaces. So I've got little sets of 3 onions right down by my feet. Sets of 3 onions, because you can never have enough onions. I use onions almost in every single meal. The next little row here, so I've kind of done some partner plants. So I've read a lot in my partner plants book about what to plant with what. So down here I've got some carrots that have sprouted up. So you know those beautiful purple carrots. So I'm going to do some carrot thinning today as well. Once it gets to, the leaves get it big enough for you to see them. And I will not pull the whole carrot out. I will actually just snip it so that I don't disturb the roots of the other carrots. Okay. So this, just moving down this whole area here, very similar. I am just so proud of this kohlrabi. This is my first big kohlrabi that I have grown. It is about the size of my palm, and it's just about ready. Just about ready to be picked. If you've never tried kohlrabi, it's so good. It's juicy, it's crunchy, it's sweet. You can look for it at your farmer's market. It grows in the cool seasons. And I don't know about the leaves of the kohlrabi. They are beautiful though, so I'm wondering if you can eat them at all. They're very thick leaves. I've got more carrots, seed carrots down here. It's nice because they'll pop up, those carrots. Takes about 20 days for germination and for them to pop. So I did put these in a while back, but they are here, which is great. So that's why every day that I'm out here at the farm, I am sowing something. I'm putting something in the ground because I know in 20 some days, then we've got the next cycle of whatever it is. So if you're wondering, like, what is that, Chelsea? That's a weed. It's these big guys have really big roots. I'm not exactly what this is, but these are things that I'm pulling. I'm also pulling this quack grass. Things like clover is great. It's great to give nitrogen to the soil. And so I don't mind that the clover's there. I don't mind that some of these guys are here. So and just being mindful of what other things can grow around your plants that's not going to steal all the nutrients from them. In these small areas here, I planted some peas. I planted peas all along this space here, but I've not seen any pop up yet. So I'm wondering if the soil, oops, there we are. Sorry. I'm wondering if the soil is too wet on this side of the hoop house because we had to build up that big drain there because it's on a little bit of a slant. See how we're kind of slanted down? So I know I'm going slow today, so I appreciate you sticking with me. Just want to show you how pretty these beet greens are. So you can snip the outsides of those and use those in a beautiful salad. I mean, how amazing that color is. It's just gorgeous. So as we move down here, we've got more, these are really pretty. I believe these are some cabbage or some cauliflower. And we'll see. We'll see. It might be too warm, too wet on this side. I think it's just a big experiment at this point for me. But, you know, it's okay. That's what this is all about, right? More beets as we move through. These are bull's blood beets. What happened? You want your jacket off? Jacket off. Are you too hot in this hoop house? Yeah, it is nice and warm in here, huh? So that is nice that on the cold days we can come and play in the hoop. And Junie's got her boots off. She's taking her jacket off, which is great. So this is really pretty. This is dazzling blue kale. And it's doing great. It's not like blowing up like the other kales, but it is good so that you can grab it like a baby kale. Baby kale is always great to eat if you find it at the farmer's market because it doesn't need you can just toss it in your regular salad. You don't have to massage it beforehand. But see, these ones are getting pretty big compared to my hand. And so they're all coming down here. As we move down to this space here, these are radishes. So these radishes can use some thinning, which is great. So I'll come down here and thin out the radishes. But the radishes are so rewarding because they don't take a long time to come up, which is great. And onions. These are some red cabbage. Now, these are probably too close together for cabbage because if you know cabbage, how big it is. So we might be able to actually retransplant some of those over there. I might be able to dig them up and replant them. I didn't know that they were going to survive. So these are those purple kohlrabi. And they are doing pretty good. They're not as big as that green one down there, but that's another wonderful, wonderful choice for a crunch. And down here, I did do a little bit of weeding, and I kind of hoed stuff up. And I've got some more radishes. See, those, I planted those last weekend, and they're already up. And then in this area here, I planted some beans, some purple Mardi Gras beans, like green beans, and then the radishes again. So in this big trench here, I did all this work a couple days back on Wednesday. Oops, sorry. We planted some potatoes. So I think I'm going to plant my potatoes outside. I might do one more row of potatoes here and dig another trench. But they need a pretty big trench, and I think they're pretty hardy, so I think they'll be okay outside. I'm just going to move you to the other side now. So we have this whole area in the middle, not even planted yet. So then we get over here. What'd you do, Isaac? No thanks, bud. So we got some cabbage that is doing good. This is probably our biggest one down here so far. So these leaves get real big, and then what they do, no thanks, guys, and then they turn in on each other. Hey, Isaac, stop. June, move away from him. So it's always fun to do this with kids, right? More radishes down here, and if they need thinning, then I can thin them real quick. And then I'm going to move over here. I did plant and sow some carrots, and they're coming up, which is really cool. So see these little guys? They start like that, those little thin. They're very thin, they're very tiny, and then they sprout and they get their new leaves. June, just go away from him. These are some acorn squashes that I planted, and I'm hoping that they'll kind of They're actually growing very quickly, which is cool. And butternut squashes are down here in the corner. This is a cucumber, which I think got a little bit of frostbite. You see on the leaf there. But the big leaves are still surviving. So we will, when the squash kind of forms and crawls, the cucumbers will get tied up to this pole here. I've got a netting, and we'll bring those cucumbers all the way up. June. And then over here, we've got some more carrots. I know they take so long. So I've been trying to plant some each day that we're out here because the kids eat carrots almost every day. So down this row here, time will tell of what's going to sprout up. I meant to record, but down here you know that it's more of the radishes. And we've got some beans here. And then down this we've got some zucchinis. Let me show you the beautiful, I wanted to pick some of these with you on the call. Isaac, would you like to pick a radish?
Yeah.
Okay, you want to pick this one?
Yeah.
Okay, pick it out. Pull it out. Yeah, you can eat it. Yum. And so then over here, we've got them in. Oh, that one was too easy to pull out. We've got them kind of in with the squashes, and I've kind of let this get overgrown a little bit, but it's nice because it keeps the soil nice and moist. Similar to like what this mulch does, but not as good. You want me to eat it? Okay. But not as good as this one here. I'm wondering if these look like a carrot. Don't they look like a carrot? But they are not carrots. But this one might be. This one might be. I might have gotten excited and planted some carrots in here. So I have to get down in there and see. So then we've got blue kale. We've got some of the, oh, this is not blue kale. This is dino kale here, and this is doing really nice. So we're kind of moving all the way down here. I've got some fennel growing, and fennel does great kind of in, it's a great plant partner. And then over here, the kale is killing it. I'm worried when this hoop house gets a little warmer, but just walking you through, look at how beautiful that red Russian is. We've just got a big variety of kale here, and it gets really big. You can see my feet. It's just huge. So we'll take, this one is as big as my arm. We'll take some of these home tonight and use them for our dinner. Down here, we've got our little spinach alley. So I wanted to show you. We'll just kind of clip, so you'll owe it whenever you're clipping spinach or kale, you just clip from the outside, and it will keep growing up and in from the inside. I think there's a random radish down here too. So that's kind of fun. So we'll clip a whole bunch of that. I'm in the middle here, but I did have some beans planted. We'll see if they come up. This is what your beans look like when they come up, in case you're interested. So, big variety of things that hopefully will start sprouting down on this line. There's all my potatoes that I've cut and wanted to get into the ground. But what is doing the best so far is this Napa cabbage. Look how big this bad boy is. So this one has been eaten by somebody. But one for the bugs and one for us. How about that? So I get that all the time from people. How do you prevent bugs and insects? And I don't know the answer to that, especially being organic and not having any sprays, except for have enough for both of you, right? So I hope that was helpful. I know I got kids in the background, so it probably was a little bit of distracting, but we've got to deal with a cut here. So I'm going to deal with that cut and get some more things in the ground, and appreciate you watching our What We're Growing on 4/8.